The report card for children in Kern County is in, showing how well our kids are being taken care of. And while some areas are improving, 23 ABC's Laura Acevedo tells us how low-income children and their families are still struggling, and it could get worse.
The annual report from the Kern County Network for Children shows an improvement in some areas, but needed change in others. Areas of health and education both saw improvements. In health, women receiving prenatal care increased from 72.5% in 2012 to 73.4% in 2013, but that's still below the state's level of 82%. However, Kern County's infant mortality rate increased from 6 to 7% within the last year. In education, the county's high school dropout rate improved for the second straight year to 14.4%, compared to 16.2% in the previous year. The high school graduation rate also increased, with 79.8% of students graduating, up nearly 4%. While there are areas of progress, 77,000 children in our county are still living below the poverty level, which equates to 1 out of every 3 children.
If a kid's going to school hungry, bad night's sleep because they didn't have a bed to sleep in, they're not going to learn. That impacts the whole community. The
Network for Children is preparing for a possible increase of children dipping into the poverty level, as they expect to see an increase of unemployment in the oil and agriculture industries in Kern. Several agencies were on hand today, including Child Protective Services, which has seen a decrease in the number of children entering the system, something they attribute to a program that helps at-risk families with services that include counseling and housing.
We can refer those families to differential response, and they can respond to those families before the problems increase and do actually require CPS intervention.
The network's executive director hopes that the community will view this report and take action in the most needed areas.
Use this data, whether it be applying for funding, encourage policymakers to put more efforts in certain areas where we see a need for growth.
The organization says they use this report card to provide better resources for struggling families, to guide them to agencies that can provide help. Laura Acevedo, 23 ABC.